My name is Mr. Steve.
Welcome Storytime.
I'm a storyteller. Hello, everybody. It's me, Mr. Steve, and it's... Wow, Cat, that happened quick. Did you see that? Man, the cat appeared out of nowhere. That was exciting. It was almost like a jump scare. Okay. Hello, everybody. It's me, Mr. Steve, and it's time for another story time. And today, you're getting serious, Mr. Steve. I'm serious right now. I'm very serious, and we're gonna have a serious story time. Hi, Cat. You excited for today's serious story time? Is that why you're putting your cat butt in my face? Yeah? Okay. Today... Can't even get in here. Today, we're having a very serious... I cannot do this with your cat butt in my face. Okay, there you go. Okay, you're going to stay here and help me do story time? Is that it? Okay. Okay, Eris. Today we're having a very serious story time, kids. It's the last weekend of Black History Month. And I've decided to get rid of super silly, make fun of the book, Mr. Steve, and bring serious Steve out. I've got a book called Let the Children March. And it's about Birmingham, Alabama in 1963. Not a nice place to be. And this is going to be a serious story time. We're going to be talking about segregation. We're going to be talking about racial injustice. And this is going to be a very serious story time. Cat butt aside. This is going to be a very serious story time. So I've got this very serious book, and we're going to be reading it on my daughter's tablet. But I just want to let you guys know right now, this is going to be a very serious story time. Letting you know that, okay? We're going to talk about some serious subjects. And if you want to continue with this story time, then great. I would love for you to. If you want to ditch out and just hear Mr. Steve make fun of a bunch of kids' books, that's also fine too. You can do that. I won't be hurt by it. But now is your chance.
Not funny!
So there was this thing called segregation. And in 1963, there was a governor, George Wallace, and he said segregation today, segregation tomorrow, segregation forever. Segregation was this thing where, okay, we have this special school, and it's just for the white children. And all of the other children have to go to these other schools that we don't care about. We only care to make sure that white kids go to school with other white kids. And nowadays, we know that that's horrible. But back in the day, that was considered okay. And this story deals with that. Let the Children March by Monica Clark Robinson. Illustrated by Frank Morrison. 1963. Birmingham, Alabama. I couldn't play on the same playground as the white kids. I couldn't go to their school. I couldn't drink from their water fountains. There were so many things I couldn't do. Man, isn't that lame? One warm spring night, my family went to church. We weren't there to have regular service. We were there to hear Dr. King speak. That's Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. We were there to plan. He wanted to raise an army of peaceful protesters to fight for freedom. His brown eyes flashing fire and love, Dr. King told us the time had come to march. If I march, Mama said, I'll lose my job sure enough. I can't march, Daddy said. I got a family to feed. The weight of the world rested on our parents' shoulders, but this burden, this time, did not have to be theirs to bear. See, so many adults couldn't do it because they would be fired, they would be attacked, they would lose their job, they would lose their source of income. So they came up with another plan. I don't have a boss to fear, my brother said, or a job to lose. We can march this time. We'll be Dr. King's army, I said. I'll be fine, Daddy. I promised. Don't worry, Mama. Dr. King didn't like children being put in harm's way. He was a daddy too, after all. But he said that though we were young, we were not too young to want our freedom. Let the children march. They will lead the way. Seriously, Eris? Eris, I'm trying to do a story time. Can I keep reading the story? Eris doesn't like loud noises, is a thing that she's developed over the last few months. So, just let me read the story, okay, please? On May 2nd, a sunny Thursday, boys and girls, brothers and sisters, cousins and friends, we all met at the church dressed in our best, feet ready. In a silence so loud that all I could hear was my racing heart, we began to walk. Hand in hand we marched, so frightened, yet certain of what was right for freedom. The path may be long and troubled, but I'm gonna walk on. Would I be hurt? Would we be heard? Would it all be worth it at the end? I wanted to run from the angry faces in the crowd. Run from danger, run from fear. Boys and girls, brothers and sisters, cousins and friends, on and on we marched, singing the songs of freedom. 1,000 strong we came. Wow, that's a lot of people. Eris, you're literally sitting between me and the story. Eris, can I do the story? Please? Please? Hate dogged my heels all that day, its yellow canine teeth sharp, but courage walked by my side and kept me going. Disperse or you'll be jailed, the police shouted the first day. Disperse or you'll get wet, the police shouted on the second day. They had hoses, fire department hoses, blasting them with massive, super strong water. Disperse or we'll release the dogs. They were sicking dogs in fire hoses on children, the police shouted the first day. We did not disperse. We kept on marching. We couldn't stop until things started to change. Hundreds of us went to jail on the first day, and even more on the second. My turn wasn't until the third day. Can you imagine them? Can you imagine arresting children just because they wanted to go to school with white children? Man, that's messed up. After I was sprayed by water stronger than anything I've ever felt, rough hands pushed me forward, and I fell to my knees in the police wagon. I was going to jail. Dr. King reassured our parents. Don't worry about your children, he said. They're going to be all right. Don't hold them back if they want to go to jail, for they are doing a job not only for themselves, but for all of America and for all of mankind. What brave children. That night, crowded in a cell too small for even half the kids, we sang, "We shall overcome. Ain't gonna let nobody turn me round, and freedom is coming." Our parents couldn't be there with us, but we still sang. But still we sang, wrapped in the proud and loving arms of our ancestors. I was still in jail, but we heard that the next day and the next, more kids marched. The water hoses they used to sting us could not stop our fierce stride. The path may be long and troubled, but I'm gonna walk on. Turn the other cheek, we had been taught. Show love where there is hate. The world watched as hate bruised us, but for 7 days we walked only in love. Yeah, there's a lot of hate. Not a lot of love right now. The jails swelled to bursting, and even President Kennedy took notice. Daddy said the president received letters and calls about us from all over the world. Our march would become a memory, a small part of a larger story, but we had been heard, and the seeds of revolution were sown. 2 days and nights I stayed in the jail. Some stayed even longer. When I left, I was tired and sore, and my best dress was ripped, but my smile was as wide as the Mississippi River. I had made a difference. "I'm so proud of you, baby girl," Mama said. "Your march was what made them see. With nothing more than our feet, voices, and courage, we had done what others could not. Change was right around the corner. We felt it like a cool breeze on an Alabama August. On May 10th, the news rang out. Dr. King had reached an agreement with the white leaders of the city. Desegregation would begin. 1 month later, I was playing on a playground I'd never been allowed to play on before. 2 months later, my family ate at a diner we'd never been allowed to eat in before. Our march made the difference. We children led the way, singing the songs of freedom. 1,000 strong we came. And here's an afterword with more information about the march. That is amazing. Even as a child, you can stand up for what is right. So that was today's story. Did you like that? What about you, Catbutt? It was a very serious story, but I think that it's an important story. An important story that we needed to hear. This is February, and February is Black History Month, and I feel that I should do my part as someone who has an audience on YouTube to share stories of everybody. Thank you very much for staying and watching today's very serious story time. I hope you learned something. Ooh, excuse me. I've had a lot of coffee. It's my Pawnee, Indiana coffee mug, and I love it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe and all those things I'm supposed to say because I'm a guy on YouTube, and we will see you later. Bye!